Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on the Tsar of Love and Techno short stories by Anthony Marra. So if you're interested in my thoughts and opinions on this spoiler wonderful book, then go ahead and keep watching. As always, we are going to start this book review off with me just kind of describing what this book is about. This is a collection of short stories that all involve or have an aspect of this really obscure Russian painting by a man named, I'm going to double check and try to pronounce this correctly. I'm not going to, but it is all about the painting by Pyotr Zakharov-Chechenets, which is his 1843 painting, Empty Pasture in an Afternoon. So each story has some aspect of this painting involved in it. And it takes place in Russia entirely, in various cities from St. Petersburg to Grozny. There are parts in Chechnya, a little town north of the Arctic Circle called Kurovsk. Again, pronunciation in this video is not going to be on point. I'm going to warn you that right now. Which is a small mining town, like I said, north of the Arctic Circle that mines nickel and is one of the most polluted places on Earth. And these stories cover the time span of generally more contemporary from the 90s to 2013, but there are some bits from around 1937 and a few sprinkled in between there. This book is wonderful. This book is lovely. I easily gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars if I was going to give it a star rating. One of my favorite books of this year. This book is just absolutely beautiful. What Anthony Marra accomplished in this book, I don't think I've ever read in another book, and especially not in a book that has been contemporary in the time that it's been written. This book was published in 2016. I believe. Shall we double check again? Shall I make you guys wait some more, make this video a little bit longer? 2015. It's stunning. It's just knocked my socks off. Can I say anything else about how incredible this book was? This book made me laugh. This book made me cry. Anthony Marra's writing is out of this world. I literally, it's kind of hard to tell with the light the way it is, went through an entire little plastic Post-it note tabby thing, tabbing this book. And it was a brand new when I started it, and ironically enough, the very last one I needed was the last one in the dispenser. So that was a little weird and kind of meant to be. But his writing is poetic, it's lyrical, it's beautiful. It instantly conjures these images that are so very, very vivid. You know, at least for me, I knew exactly what these towns looked like, exactly what these atmospheres and environments were like. From Kurovsk, I'm sorry guys, I knew exactly what that town looked like with its weird plastic trees and the snow and the pollution and the stacks and the chemical lake. I knew what this particular man's apartment looked like. It was all just so very vivid and so very beautifully written that I read, I don't know how many excerpts aloud to Aaron. I was like, you have to listen to this. You have to listen to this. You have to listen to this. Because from the very beginning, one of my favorite stories is the very first story in this, which is called The Leopard. And it's just amazing. Guys, I'm struggling here. I'm having trouble finding words to describe how beautiful this book is. Overall, his writing in this book, I think, is what other people are trying to attempt when their writing comes across as overdone and overworked and syrupy sweet and heavy to wade through because there's these descriptive words that you're just like, this isn't working for me. It works for him. He does it. He does it beautifully. If anything, this book would be worth reading for his writing alone. But he also has these incredible characters and these incredible stories that are so subtly connected that you could read each of these stories on its own and you wouldn't need any of the other stories to read it. But they're so much stronger because you know they are connected. This is a collection of short stories. Like I said, you can read them individually, But by reading them together, it reads like a novel, and the story is so much stronger, and his points and his discussion on censorship and government and just Russia in general was amazing. Mara's dedication to detail and knowledge of history was stunning in this book. I do have to say, I was constantly looking up who these people were that he was referencing that were a part of the government, and I'm not very knowledgeable about Russia in the government, their history. I know generally, you know, kind of what you get in high school here in the States, but that's the extent of it. But it made it so much stronger because by stopping and looking up who these people are his meticulous detail to using real history was phenomenal, and it made this story stronger. It made this story so very real. This could have happened for all we know, and there could have been all these people connected by this one painting that for this man who was a famous Russian painter was his least known painting. No one thought it was anything special, but to the people in this book, it's very, very special. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet because the big points for me were just how amazing his writing was, these subtle connections through these stories, but how strong they were at the same time, like subtly strong. I think you're following me. I hope you're following me because that's the best I can describe, how these stories are connected. Please excuse the lighting change. It's cloudy and rainy outside and now the sun's showing up, but we're just gonna pretend that's not happening. But the themes in this book are wonderful. It's about where you come from. It's about parenthood. It's about how your country affects you and the government affects you, even though you're just one little person. Pollution, wolves, all of these things are these themes that pop up throughout these collections of stories. And you just have to go read it, guys. This book is beautiful. I can honestly say one of my favorite books that I've ever written. I did not write this book. I don't write books. Never am going to write a book that I've ever read. It's amazing. I need to go get my hands on his debut novel, which was a constellation of vital phenomena. To be honest, I don't even totally know what it's about. I do know it involves, Russia. And now I'm really intrigued and I want to know more. But more than anything, guys, you have to go read this book. I want to talk to you about it. If you have read this book, let's chat about it. I want to know your thoughts. I hope you all had the same opinion as me because this book, have I said it enough times, is beautiful. It's a beautiful book, meticulously researched, wonderfully written. Overall, probably the closest of a perfect book for me that I've ever read. And it's even a short story collection technically, which just astounds me even more. But guys, like I said, let's chat about this book. If you know any books that remind you of this, that you have read, that you think I would really enjoy, please let me know. I'm always looking for more recommendations. But if you like this video, please like it. And if you loved it, please subscribe. And we'll see you in my next video. Happy reading.